Okay, well, why don't we just begin and Steve can join us and catch up. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. This is the October 1st meeting of the East Longmeadow High School School Building Committee. It's a remote meeting. It's a shorter agenda today. Um, and why don't we go into approval of meeting minutes. If everybody had a chance to see that in the calendar invitation, excuse me, that was sent out earlier. Do I have anybody willing to make a motion to approve the minutes from the September meeting?
I move to approve the minutes of September 18th, is it?
It is.
Uh, of the SBC.
Okay, thank
Second.
you. All right, Mr. Quimby's a second.
Also, just Jamie, if you're there, we're still in a practice session.
Oh, good call. Thank you.
So should I repeat all of that, Jamie, or
No,
is
it's
that
okay. It's still on the recording. The
it's in the
audience of zero just didn't hear it.
Okay. But the audience that will in the future be watching this will be in the millions, and so we want to make sure that they have all the information.
Yes.
Okay. So we did have a motion by Ms. Hill and a second by Mr. Quimby for the minutes from the September 18th meeting. If there's no further discussion, I will do a roll call vote. Everybody ready? I'm a yes. Ms. Blair?
Yes.
Okay. Did I see Mr. Page jump on? Mr. Page?
I am a yes.
Okay. Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Margin Boucher's not here. Mr. Fenny?
Attention, I wasn't here at the last meeting.
Okay. Abstain. Thank you. Ms. Labar?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Christensen?
Yes.
Yes. Ms. Collins?
Yes.
Yes. And Mr. Quimby?
Yes.
All right, beautiful. So the minutes pass. Thank you, everyone. Our next order of business is our owner project manager update. So, Mr. Murphy, floor is yours.
Thanks, Gordon. Like I said before, really the only thing we have today for you folks is change order number 3 to amend Fontaine's contract. So hopefully you all had a chance to review the information in the document. But I can, Jamie, do I have the ability to share? I can pull up the just cover sheet so people have.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Bear with me. All right, you guys seeing that?
We are.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so change order 3 was comprised of 5 individual PCOs. So you guys probably recall us talking about the fire pump addition for the building. Earlier this year, we discussed with you guys at the committee level the need for the fire pump on the building, the flow and pressure for the fire protection system and the domestic water system was too low. So unfortunately needed to redesign a bit. And this was the resultant costs of that. It is only the MEP, the mechanical, electrical, plumbing. So it's fire protection, plumbing, electrical, and site work actually. I correct myself in this PCO here. So it's not everything, but this is the bulk of that change order. There is still some finish scope that will be turned into a PCO very quickly here. But this is the large component of that to get us going. So then we're on to PCO number 13, R1. So this is just for design change with an overflow that was added at the intermediate roof at A building and removed one of the scuppers. So some of the changes represented there. PCO 14, plumbing vent and risers. Cost, this is again a plumbing change, a redesign Dory, I don't know if we know the genesis of all of it, but my understanding was just kind of catching up in the documents and moving some of the vent locations and risers, kind of minimal work here. Tariff costs on
Correct.
steel for concessions. So this one, in the grand scheme of things, I think we were able to do a good job in procurement of the steel for the project in terms of timing. But this was the steel for the concessions building. There was a tariff associated with that steel due to when the steel was procured. So like I said, we got most of the steel for the project that was not affected by the increases. However, this was some that was, and I think there's an expectation that a little more will be for the remainder of the pool building and stuff like that, but nothing major. I would say in the grand scheme of things for how tariffs can affect a project, this was fairly minimal, and Fontaine has not received from any other subcontractors outside of their structural steel sub these tariff charges. So this is something, although unfortunate, we do consider it kind of a force majeure type of scenario, kind of outside of the control of either party. So we are recommending it for approval. And then PCO number 18, resilient floor, decibel backing in E277. So this is in the STEM room on the second floor of E-Wing, changing the flooring material to a sound absorption material. Dory, feel free if I mischaracterize any of that to chime in. I know the design team probably has further details, but that's kind of
Yeah,
the summary of the list.
right. We're happy to share. I know that first one is significant, and it can feel hard to understand how that can generate so much cost. So if you'd like, I have blow-ups of the different rooms, but largely what that's about is having to create a fire pump room in the building, having not had to have that because initially the design information we didn't require it, and it's good that we found out prior to sort of trying to get the fire protection system working, that the pressure wouldn't be sufficient to actually put fires out. So that's a really critical life safety issue that we had to deal with, and it did mean a significant amount of redesign
Springfield
by
Street 10 appointment.
by every one of the consulting engineers, so except for structural, even a little structural. So it was a big one, and the team's done a great job getting all that into place. The others are relatively minor, as Ben's saying. 13 and 14 are the kinds of things that happen largely as coordination is going, and when there were some things that we found from a plumbing code perspective that were required that weren't fully accounted for that we had to add in. The decibel floor backing is something I call. It was actually there's different types of linoleum, and we had standard linoleum in the STEM classroom. That's going to be a room that's going to be louder, and it's going to transfer sound down. So to actually quiet that transfer of sound between spaces, I call that as a mistake on our part for not having gotten in the drawings in the first place. So we just wanted to address that now. And the tariff costs, as you know. So happy to answer any specific questions you have. But yeah, this has been very well vetted, and it's unfortunate, but the team did a great job getting it done and doing it in a way that did not cause any delay in the project, which I'm really proud of.
Thanks, Dory and Ben. Does anybody on the committee have questions or want further explanation on any of the change orders?
Does this come out of the contingency funding? Is that how we fund this?
Yeah, so this comes out of owner's construction contingency. Greg, there are two separate contingencies kind of to the owners for the owner's use within the budget. The owner's construction contingency was $2,760,000 to begin with. So after this change, we're at about $2,100,000 and some change. So still in good shape for where we're at on the project, Greg. We still have the finished trades to work through, and still some work ahead of us for sure. We're not through the woods yet, but this is a good point to be at for where we're at. And there are further contingencies kind of within Fontaine's contract that we utilize for things that come up within the day-to-day. So other places for it. So I don't want to make it seem like it's raining money everywhere, Greg, but a good place to be at.
When do we get out of the woods, Ben? When is that time frame that we can actually look at that contingency fund for something else? Does that happen?
July of next year. No, I don't want to say.
Yeah. Okay.
I think
We lost you there, Ben.
here, making sure that we're on top of everything. But when our workforce increases, it balloons from 120 to 200 people, and everybody's kind of working on top of each other. I think it can be expected that we'll have a few more. We have an observations report that Fontaine calls it, and it's been minimal to date. They've been doing a fantastic job. I expect that there will be a few more of those kind of things popping up. We might need to utilize Fontaine's contingency for some of those things. There may be some additional design changes and owner requests that come up throughout. So I don't think we want to project yet, but I would say it's a good place to be at. And there's beyond that, Greg, I don't have the value in front of me. It's like $1.5 million, but there's an owner's contingency. So there's an owner's construction contingency and owner's contingency. The owner's contingency in MSBA's eyes is kind of saved for soft cost changes. So if you had an amendment for, I don't know, the design team or something like that, that's where that would come from. So that is also largely intact. So happy to provide that information over. We're in fairly good condition right now. But yeah, those are the big ones. And I will say each of these PCOs, so I call them PCOs, I'm just using acronyms too much here. So potential change orders as we receive them from Fontaine. So with the pricing before we go through our review efforts and make sure that everything is accurate. That's a potential change order. It becomes the full prime contract change order when it turns into this document that you guys are looking at with the cover page. So we're looking for this prime contract change order to be approved, which would effectively approve all of these individual PCOs. Again, I sent these over to Steve. Steve took a look at them, was good with them, so we can round out the paperwork and get the signatories in order. But happy to answer any other questions. Otherwise, it's our recommendation.
Yeah, sorry, last one, Ben. Just on the
Yep.
tariffs, you said this is particular to the concession building. Did we purchase everything else other than those few things you said are left potential tariff wise before the tariffs were enacted, meaning the steel of the whole building? Is that how this went down?
Yeah. So Danielle, if you are on the line, I don't want to speak for you as to what you guys are expecting, what's remaining, but that is my understanding of it, Greg, was that we, because of when we did the majority of our structural steel, we were able to avoid those tariffs.
Yeah, so we bought the steel contractor prior to there being the tariffs in place. So it wasn't worked into, they couldn't account for that because the tariffs weren't in place at the time that we bought steel. So we were able to ship all of the steel for the building down. They were just sending tractor trailers of steel as soon as it was fabricated to beat the tariffs on the building. And they don't pay those tariffs until they cross the border. So the concession building steel was planned for this summer. It was put on a truck. They got an invoice as they crossed the border to bring the steel into our project. The same thing is going to happen for the pool building, but all of the other steel was here well before then. And then for the packages that we bought later, when tariffs were in place, if we bought them and tariffs were already in place, then that should have been accounted for. Any packages we bought before there were tariffs in place, then we could see something from that. Right now, we don't have anything from any other costs from any subs on that.
Thank you, Danielle. No, I appreciate that, and I appreciate.
So I'd like to, I know Greg just froze on my screen, but
Activeness of
there.
getting things as soon as we can.
Greg, before we jump out on that question about where we are in the overall picture, it is great that we're out of the ground. That's a big marker that we have structure up, that we have the envelope up, that we have studs in place. So that's all definitely lowers, the overall risk level that we're facing. But in terms of the contingency, I do want to say that as an architect on the project, we're entering the phase of the project where the owner starts to really get real with what's happening. And by that, I mean the school is starting to see come into play the plan and the details that they anticipated. And there are things that happen in school districts every time you're on a project. There are changes in programmatic interests in the school, and there will things that are going to come out where they're going to say, wait a minute, now that we're looking at this in reality, we're thinking that this actually might need to adjust. And that's starting to happen. Those types of changes are not huge the way the pump room change is, but they are changes that will be coming. And our general position is that the goal is to get you the school that's going to last as long as we can help it to last. So we don't say, let's not entertain those ideas. We bring those ideas out. We get the number on what it would cost to change them. We review that, with the school to be sure that they're sure that they want to spend that money that way. And then we propose that we go forward with it. So an example is that the school district has discovered that they would prefer that one of their special education classrooms flip with the other based on height and what it's going to be in the building, second and first floor. That's going to create some plumbing change. And there's real important programmatic reasons and kind of school management reasons for it. So that's considered an owner change, but a change that we can implement. And we're in the middle of getting the cost on what that would be. And it won't be huge, but it's a change. So the contingency is also there for that. So I think we all agree that those are priorities that we want the project to entertain rather than sweep under the rug and not entertain before we get to talking about what's left, I just want to set expectations that those things do keep coming. Yeah.
Yep. No, I appreciate that, Dory, and I trust yours and the team's lead on this. So I think it's going great.
Great. Thanks.
Any other questions on change order number 3, the comprehensive change order number 3? All right. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve change order number 3.
I'll move to approve change order number 3.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Thank you. Any further discussion on change order number 3? Hearing none, I'll do a roll call vote. I'm a yes. Ms. Blair?
Yes.
Okay, I think Mr. Page had to step out. Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Fenny?
Yes.
Ms. Labar?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Christensen?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Collins?
Yes.
And Mr. Quimby?
Yes.
Right. So the yeses have it. Change order number 3 is approved. So we can then work on getting the paperwork together and then get everybody to sign off on that. All right, fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Is there any new business?
The only thing would be to set the next meeting, Gordon, which we don't need to do today. We could always follow up afterwards, but if you want to get something on the schedule, we could.
Do we need one, say in the next month, or are we looking 2 months out, or are we?
I think we're fine for October, unless Danielle, you feel there's a need, or Dory. I think we could probably go into November, since we just met. That would be my suggestion, maybe the 13th or something like that, but open to whatever the group wants.
13th could work as long as we don't get too close to 6 p.m. because there's a national honor
Council meeting.
section
And there's town council that night too.
on Thursday.
Only because we can't meet on Tuesday, the 11th because of the holiday.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. Do we want to look at another week? Does it maybe the 6th or the 20th?
20?
Or the 20th?
Yeah, I think the 6th might be too soon. 20th probably would be better. Yeah.
Getting close to the Thanksgiving holiday.
Getting closer. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
How does the 20th look for everybody?
Good.
That work?
Good.
Okay.
Good.
So 3 p.m. on the 20th, is that stay on get back to Thursdays? Wednesday threw us off. Okay.
Thank
so
you all for jumping on. We appreciate it.
November 20th at 3 p.m. That will be our next school building committee meeting.
Okay.
Awesome. If there's no other new business, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
So, and Mr. Quimby, thank you. We'll go quick roll call. I'm a yes. Ms. Blair?
Yes.
Ms. Brown? Did we lose her? Oh, she's muted.
Just couldn't find my mute button. Yes.
Ms. Hill?
Yes.
Mr. Penny?
Yes.
Ms. Labar? Did we lose her? Okay. Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Christensen?
Yes.
Ms. Collins?
Yes.
And Mr. Quimby?
Yes.
All right. So we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. I don't
Thank
see you
you.
before. We'll see you on the 20th in November.